Darth Doesn't Ty look like Darth Vader in that robe? He just needs the helmet.
Good evening. At this time, I request that all visitors please turn off your cell phones or anything that is electronic that might beep during our sermon this evening. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Take it out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this auspicious occasion in the lives of our George Mason High School seniors. We extend an especially warm welcome to friends and family of our seniors. We know that some of you have traveled great distances to be with us this evening. We think you'll find it was worth the trip. I am joined on stage by George Mason valedictory scholars and speakers, Leah Catano and Genevieve Jordan. Chopra, former First Chief Technology Officer of the United States, in this evening's ceremony. I wish to welcome you most especially, Mr. Chopra. For the next set of distinguished guests, if you would hold your applause until I finish, I'd appreciate it. I'm also joined on stage by Senior Class President Zev Lalari, Senior Class Vice President Genevieve Jordan, Senior Class Secretary Michelle DeMars, Senior Class Treasurer Chris Bierman, Superintendent Dr. Tony Jones, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Gloria Guba, School Board Chair Ms. Susan Carney, and unfortunately Mr. Nader, our mayor, was going to be with us this evening, but he's not going to be able to be here, but he's with us. Senior Class Advisors Mr. Will Snyder and Mr. Eric Healy, Director of Special Education and Student Services Ms. Elizabeth Germer, Director of Counseling Ms. Amy Kurjanowicz, Assistant Principal Mr. Ken Siegman, Assistant Principal Mr. Tim Guy, Band Director, Ms. Mary Jo West, and the George Mason High School Symphonic Band, and to my left, the George Mason Choir, directed by Ms. Lauren Glass. Now you can give them a round of applause. Now I invite Class Secretary Michelle DeMars to come forward to welcome you on behalf of her fellow seniors.
Hello, my name is Michelle DeMars, and as a secretary of the senior class, I would like to welcome family, friends, teachers, administrations, and my fellow classmates to the commencement ceremony of George Mason High School for the class of 2012. On behalf of our class, I would like to thank our parents for their love and support, our teachers for their guidance, and our friends for being there throughout our high school years. Also, a large thank you to our class sponsors, Mr. Snyder and Mr. Healy. Last but not least, I would like to congratulate and thank all of you, the class of 2012, for being one of the most distinguished and diverse classes that Mason has ever seen. It is now my pleasure to introduce the school board chair, Mrs. Susan Carney, who will bring greetings from the school board.
Thank you, Genevieve. I appreciate that introduction. Class of 2012, on behalf of the Falls Church City School Board, I congratulate you on your achievements. Having watched you for the past 5 years of your George Mason careers, I can tell you we think that you are awesome. From academics to arts to athletics to community service, you have excelled both as individuals and in a class, so congratulations. I want to give you at least my round of applause to start. To the families and friends of the graduates who have come to celebrate with us today, welcome. We share your pride in your children's and these students' accomplishments and your anticipations about what's going to come next in their lives. To the parents in particular, and you know who you are, we also thank you for entrusting your children to us each and every day. It's been an honor to have them. And we want to recognize and thank you for the countless hours of volunteer time that you have spent in our schools so that your children can have an outstanding educational experience here in Falls Church City. So thanks very much. We appreciate that. And then finally, I would be remiss without mentioning our outstanding staff. Of all of our schools, from Mount Daniel to George Mason, with stops at TJ and Mary Ellen Henderson in between, our staff's knowledge, dedication, creativity, and professionalism have brought our students to this successful day, each in their own way. So thank you to our fabulous staff. I want to share with you that several weeks ago I was at another graduation. That was my daughter's graduation from college, and I promise that I won't cry here like I did then. But on her graduation day, I wrote her a letter sharing with her my hopes for her as she set out on the next part of her life. And in talking to her about this speech, she said, "You know, Mom, I expect you hope the same thing for the George Mason grads that you hope for me." So I decided to share those hopes with you. My son said you wouldn't remember any of them anyway, but I'm going to tell you regardless. First, I hope you will choose to be happy. And I want to tell you that happiness is a choice. Every day when you get up out of bed, every morning, you can choose to be happy or not. And those people who choose to be happy have fabulous lives. They are more successful. They accomplish more than anybody else. So please, you have a choice. Make it. Be happy. Second, I hope you will change the world. We all hope you'll change the world in some way, whatever works for you, large or small, doing something that you absolutely love every single day. Find something that's broken or something that can be done better and then fix it or improve it. Be as bold as you like, be innovative. Don't let anybody tell you it can't be done or that you can't work hard enough because you can. And I know you're each capable because, as I said, we've watched you over the years and we know that you're outstanding. And then third, I hope you will build strong relationships, surrounding yourself with friends and family you love and who love and respect you, and with colleagues who share your values of honesty and hard work, because we all need help along the way, and these are the kinds of people who will help you, whether it's college, whether in the military, whether you're working, whether you're married or not. It's the people you surround yourself with that will make your life special. And finally, have fun. Don't grow up too fast. Don't be too serious. Have a great time. That's one of my core values. And then one last thought for each of you before I close. You will always be one of our own. With your graduation today, you may be leaving to start a new life, but you will always be part of our Falls Church Schools community. We stand behind you, we will cheer for you, we will help you in any way we can. And we hope you'll check in with us from time to time just to let us know what's going on with you and with your friends. So again, congratulations, graduates. This is an awesome day for you. I hope you'll enjoy it and remember it forever. Thank you.
First of all, let me also personally congratulate our seniors on a wonderful year. You've set the bar incredibly high for all of those students coming behind you. The George Mason Scholar Award recognizes outstanding achievement of our graduating seniors. This award is presented to students who have completed a high school program that includes a total of 25 credits, a cumulative grade point average of 3.85, and the following courses taken for letter grades: 4 years of social studies, 4 years of college prep mathematics, 3 years of one foreign language or 2 years of 2 different foreign languages, 3 years of lab science, and international baccalaureate courses in 2 different disciplines. This year, there are 48 students receiving this award, and in the fall, these students will be attending the following post-secondary institutions: Allegheny College, American University, Boston University, Carnegie Mellon University, Claremont McKenna College, the College of William and Mary, George Mason University, Haverford College, Indiana University Bloomington, James Madison University, Lehigh University, Tufts University, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, University of Mary Washington, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and the University of Virginia. Have a fan. Finally, we recognize 30 students tonight who've earned the distinction of being named George Mason Valedictory Scholars by maintaining a cumulative grade point average of 4.0 or better throughout their high school years. They are wearing gold medallions this evening to signify their outstanding academic achievement. These recipients will also be recognized when they receive their diploma. And I'm just going to build on one little quote that goes right along with what Chairman Carney just shared with you. You know, during your senior years when we lost Steve Jobs, and I think I love technology and I see him as a real innovator that really changed. When I walk through George Mason Hall, I see iPads and iPhones and all kinds of things. And he was speaking at a commencement in 2005, and he was reminding the students that your time is limited, don't waste it, find what you love, and go and do it. So with that, I say congratulations to you, and we are very proud of you and what you've done this year and the years previous.
evening. My name is Genevieve Jordan, and I'm here to speak to you today about a matter that should be of the highest importance to every American. My hair. Yes, I did just quote Elle Woods and Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you? But as I was thinking about how we, as the class of 2012, have changed over the past 12 years, one of the first things that came to my mind was our hair. Now think about it with me. When we were younger, our parents would do our hair every morning. Make sure it was cleaned, brushed, slicked back, braided, or something. Though as time went on, they passed the reins, or should I say brush, over to us. Our hair became our responsibility. Some of us, mainly the girls, took our time getting ready every morning just like our parents had taught us. Though, I'll admit, not me. However, around this same time in middle school, rebellion, laziness, or lack of care was rampant among the boys, and, unfortunately, me. While some of the dudes still rock it today, thankfully most have grown out of it. In case you haven't guessed already, I'm talking about the long, shaggy, irresistible hair that most middle school boys thought they rocked. Though I would like to point out that most would be totally embarrassed if I were to bring out some pictures. Think back to the photos of the musical Annie Jr. in 7th grade, and of Paul Henninger's huge blonde afro. For some strange reason in middle school, it seems like every boy thinks it is cool to not be able to see where he is going. While the long shaggy hair was the most popular, let us not forget about Chris Ehrman's obsession with the colorful hair string wraps. And girls, we weren't perfect either. Middle parts, side ponytails, what were we thinking? Fast forward to now, and here we are. While some seemingly still could not care less about how their hair looks, we all look put together today, our graduation day. So I am assuming that our parents might have had some say in our hair choices, whether the opinions were asked for or not. We have officially come full circle. Just like in elementary school, we are on the brink of taking the reins, though this time of our life, and not just our hair. There will be no mommy or daddy to detangle the knots and place the pretty pink bow in our hair. We will be on our own, responsible for presenting ourselves to the world. No more Miss Bars to wave to us as we hop on the bus, and no more Mr. Bird to shake our hands as we walk into school. We will be completely on our own, in a sea of new haircuts, where we all do our own hair. Before too long, the new faces will become familiar, whether they are college classmates, work colleagues, or future partners. But until then, we will have to present ourselves on our own. While hopefully we won't make the same middle school mistakes, I am sure we will make different ones along the way. Today, we have made it to the next big stepping stone in life, our high school graduation. Next year, we will be given a new level of independence that we have hardly tasted before. Just like how when our parents taught us to do our hair, some of us listened and some of us didn't. But hopefully we learned from our mistakes. No offense to the guys with the long hair. We have to decide what advice to take from our parents and what we want to learn on our own. As cheesy as this all may sound, and no, my parents did not pay me to say this, our parents may be wiser than we realize, so we should not just throw out all their advice without any thought. We will make mistakes along our way, and we might not even realize they are mistakes until much later. Whoever invented the rat tail probably thought he was pretty cool until he looked back 20 years later and thought, man, that was not a good look. Our lives will be full of haircuts, some mistakes and some spectacular. But as my mom says, our hair will always grow back. Much love, George Mason.
have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. It's always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah. Keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith. Whoa.
Thank you, Trevor and Sarah. It's a tough act to follow. At this time, I recognize two of my colleagues who are serving as faculty marshals this evening. They led our distinguished faculty into the hall this evening. We honor Ms. Karen Tews, the 2012 Washington Post Agnes Meyer Outstanding Teacher of the Year. Our second marshal is Ms. Judy Becker, who is retiring from Falls Church City Public Schools after 15 years of service to the George Mason community as the George Mason Coordinator of Student Services. We salute them on this honor. I also recognize Kirsten Albert, Eric Healy, Pam Ricker, and Will Snyder as 2012 nominees of the Washington Post Agnes Meyer Outstanding Teacher of the Year. I ask them all to now please stand and be recognized for their fine service to these seniors and many other Mustangs before them. If they would please stand.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Christopher Armin, the class treasurer of the class of 2012. Mr. Burke, the class of 2012 would like to provide the George Mason High School community with two tokens of our appreciation for all that it has done for us. First off, we would like to present additional microwaves for the Mustang Cafe. Now, our class would also like to give a second gift, which will be here for generations of Mustangs to come. You know, ever since 8th grade, George Mason has taught us to come together and be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And in honor of this, we would like to give an additional contribution to a fund which was established by a previous class. This fund is for a future electronic marquee to be placed in front of the school. This marquee will announce to the Falls Church community all the George Mason announcements and other accomplishments. Thank you.
My name is Leah Catanio, and I am honored to speak on behalf of the class of 2012. So, welcome fellow classmates. We made it. Today is our day, but it's also a day to celebrate our family, friends, teachers, and administrators. Without all of you, we would not be walking across this stage. Thank you for all you have done and what I am sure you will continue to do for us. For the past 3 years, I have sat here on stage and watched as the students and the speakers have changed. Each year, there are new people and new surprises. But one thing is always the same, the song Pomp and Circumstance. The only thing different is the number of times the band has to repeat the measures 60 to 79. Last year, I knew I was playing that song for the final time, but I could not imagine what it would be like to stand and hear it be played for me. So before addressing my fellow classmates, allow me to address the students sitting behind me from the classes of 2013, 14, and 15. Find a way to outdo the amazing class of 2012 and make your mark on Mason, on Falls Church, and on the world. Now, music opened the ceremony today, and we will of course close with Pomp and Circumstance. But how has music defined our graduating class? We're not all band nerds like me, but music has brought us together in unimaginable ways. Many of my fellow classmates are Falls Church for lifers and started their musical journey together nearly 12 years ago. One indoctrination ceremony every Thomas Jefferson Elementary student undergoes is the required chorus concerts. I am sure everyone remembers singing the 50 Nifty United States, playing green plastic recorders, and banging on trash cans to imitate the Broadway show Stomp. To distract ourselves during rehearsals, we would joke about how our music teacher, Mrs. Harbison, had a hair that magically increased in size, proportional to the number of days left until the concert. She, like our other teachers, poured her heart and soul into working with us. Our elementary school concerts gave us the chance to start the process of bonding with our fellow classmates that has continued for years. Thinking back to those chorus concerts reminds me of another story about our class. In 7th grade, we were changing classes like any other day, and suddenly, Campbell Kennett started singing Build Me Up, Buttercup. Nearly everyone joined in, as if we had planned a flash mob better than anything Glee could ever put together. We stood in the hallway until we had finished singing, and then went back to class as if nothing had happened. While 7th grade may not have been our finest year, we still managed to come together as a class in that moment. Since 7th grade, we have learned to see past our differences. The soundtrack to our class's life is a mixture of everything from classical bassoon solos to blasting Katy Perry and One Direction in the car on the way to school. Many of the songs on this soundtrack also celebrate what we have accomplished. Our class has won innumerable state championships. Our band and chorus received straight superiors at festival, with the band playing the highest level of music. Our robotics team traveled to the national tournament. Our class went from awkwardly dancing to Shakira at 6th grade dances, to jumping enthusiastically to Andre Hobson and Sarah Rodock's original songs at the JV show this year. And our class served the community in every possible way, from creating Transition Falls Church, a movement to make our town more self-sustainable, to cooking for the homeless shelter after school. While these accomplishments are prominent, in the past 4 years, we have also joined together to help people affected by earthquakes in Japan and Haiti. We supported students who came to Falls Church as a result of the Arab Spring uprisings, and we suffered the loss of a former Mason student and friend. These are all part of the soundtrack to our lives. I am sure I could listen to this soundtrack on repeat and hear something new with each listen. As I have learned over the past few years, every one of you has an infinitely interesting story to tell. Next year, we are heading in new directions to record our next album. For many of you, you will be the next addition to a college or university playlist. For others, you will join the military, AmeriCorps, or enter the workforce. No matter where you go, I am sure that your song will be exactly what is needed for the album in progress. As you move on, remember what we have accomplished. Think back to our first Spirit Week in 8th grade. We impressively beat out the freshmen, but embarrassed ourselves with a victory cheer. It is tradition at every pre-homecoming pep rally to have a sound-off competition to determine which grade is the loudest when screaming VICTORY. No one had taught us the song, and we stood completely at a loss for what to say. The other grades laughed and mocked us for years to come. However, instead of allowing future 8th graders to suffer from the same embarrassment, we made a point to teach every succeeding class the victory cheer during summer orientation. Our class turned a negative situation into a learning experience. We improved each year, and now I am sure we are the loudest we have ever been. So, George Mason High School, class of 2012, will you join me in giving this one final song and shout out to Mason? Senior